This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. Around 200 people gathered at Campbell's Bay in Kakanui yesterday for a memorial for two brothers who died there last week. A rahui has been placed on the Kakanui coast in North Otago for 2 weeks to mark respect for the families and acknowledge the deaths of Kareta Tatana and Wharerika Popata.
A much more tranquil scene at Campbell's Bay in Kakanui yesterday than the one which took the lives of two brothers here last week. Around 200 people gathering at the site to pay tribute to the men who lost their lives gathering seafood in heavy seas. A statement from the family read at the beach expressing their love for those who came to remember the brothers.
Our whānau would love to extend the most unconditional love to those who have taken part today to honour the lives of our men and their families that were left behind.
Members of the community assisted emergency services in the search for the brothers last Tuesday after they were seen struggling in the water. One of the men was found dead by a rescue helicopter, the other by a surfer who helped get the victim onto a boat so he could be taken back to shore.
We also would love to acknowledge those who took part in the rescue efforts and the return of our two young men. Without any of these efforts, none of this would have given our family the closure and comfort of knowing that we can take our next home and maybe home.
Waitaki Boys High School pupils performed a haka on the beach. Then around 30 surfers made their way out to sea in a memorial paddle out to remember the men in Oamaru, the south today.
Dunedin police say it's absolutely amazing no one was injured after an 11-year-old boy crashed and rolled a car he'd stolen yesterday morning before fleeing the scene. The boy crashed the Volkswagen Golf hatchback into 3 parked vehicles on Kenmure Road before running off down the hill. Police say he was tracked by dogs who were unable to find him, but he later turned up at a grandparent's house. Senior Sergeant Craig Dennison says he was speeding and obviously had no skills whatsoever when it came to driving. He says amazingly he had no injuries and has been referred to youth aid. Baby Draco Kinley is soon to go home for the first time, a very big step for a child who's lived in the children's ward at Dunedin Hospital his whole life. Last February, Annalie Kinley gave birth to Draco at just 26 weeks gestation, almost 14 weeks premature.
Making plans to go home after spending the first year of his life in hospital, Draco Kinley has made amazing progress since being born over 3 months early.
After they seen how bad his lungs were, he was given 8 weeks to live, and he's surprised us since then.
Weighing just 900 grams at birth, young Draco has faced many major challenges.
His main issues are his lungs and his heart. So his heart, he's got pulmonary hypertension, he's got 2 holes in his heart, a PDA and an ASD. He's got numerous enlarged heart valves. His right side of his heart's a lot bigger than the left. He's got his chronic lung disease and bronchomalacia in the left lung. His left lung's half the size of his right lung, and he's got a hernia in his diaphragm.
The first time she held Draco, she was nervous because she thought he might need CPR. At other times, Draco has needed emergency help.
He stopped breathing. First, his lips started to go blue, then his eyes rolled into the back of his head. His body went limp and lifeless. I pressed the emergency bell, the nurses were running in. He just wasn't breathing. His oxygen just went lower and lower and lower. I stopped looking when it was in about the 20s. And yeah, they had to bring him back 3 times, and it took 45 minutes to get him stable.
There are still plenty of anxious times ahead for the family, with major surgeries likely in the next few years.
He's got a couple heart operations coming up in Starship. At 5 or 6 years old, they'll look into a transplant on his heart and lungs. So
The family's been told they'll probably be discharged from Dunedin Hospital around the end of the month. In Dunedin, for the South Today.
Police say non-students who were out looking for trouble started several fights in North Dunedin on Saturday night. Police say students at a party on Hyde Street were minding their own business, but their neighbours, who aren't students, were out looking for trouble all night. They threw bottles at campus watch staff and yelled at them. Police were called when fights broke out. A young woman was taken to hospital by ambulance with unknown injuries. More fights broke out once officers left the street, including a brawl in a taxi company's car park between Leith and Hyde Streets. The Black Caps have arrived in Dunedin for Wednesday's one-day international against Bangladesh at the University Oval. And despite having an unassailable 2-0 lead in the 3-match series, they're determined to remain victorious.
A traditional welcome for the Black Caps at Dunedin International Airport this afternoon. The team on a high after clinching their ODI series against Bangladesh over the weekend.
Yeah, I think the guys are really excited with how we've improved each game in this series, and so it's important we do the same again here in Dunedin, and we're looking to have a 3-0 whitewash, so hopefully we can just keep making those improvements.
Astle picked up 2 wickets in the last game in Christchurch, bowling his full complement of 10 overs as he looks to put himself in contention for the World Cup starting in May.
Coming back from a knee injury in the UAE, which cut that short, it was nice to be back and prove to myself again that I can do it at that level, and just enjoying it out in front of my friends and family, and nice to get the win as well.
A fine day's forecast for Wednesday's third and final match of the series at the University Oval. The home side expecting a big crowd right in the middle of Students' Orientation Week.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope there's a big crowd and lots of support. And guys love playing down here, so it'd be great if we could get a few Scarfies down to the game.
The match gets underway at 11 with tickets still available as the Black Caps look to secure a 3-0 series whitewash. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. High-profile prisoner and social justice campaigner Arthur Taylor speaks with ODT reporter Rob Kidd about life in the Pare Moremo maximum security prison.
I just like it. It's something that you can see the fruits of your own labour. You put it right now, you don't have as much to do at Christmas. You come see me, Derek, in the garden department, and then we get it done right.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
Oh, help! Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Need to rent an EFTPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event, Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Welcome back. Police have named the woman killed in a crash between Clinton and Mataura last week. She was 21-year-old Katie Deborah Robertson of Invercargill. Emergency services were called to the crash on Old Coach Road in Otaraya on Friday morning. St John's say one other person was taken to Dunedin Hospital in a serious condition. The serious crash unit is investigating. Part of Portobello Road on Otago Peninsula was blocked on Saturday afternoon after a slip brought down rocks and a large tree. The incident happened at around 1:30 p.m. near the Vauxhall Yacht Club. Police say it initially blocked the city-bound lane of the road, forcing traffic to go around it. Emergency services arrived to direct traffic and clear the scene. A member of the public, armed with a chainsaw, worked to remove the tree. The mess was cleared later in the afternoon. Last week, high-profile prisoner and social justice campaigner Arthur Taylor arrived at his new home in Dunedin. Taylor was released from prison on parole after spending the last 14 years in jail for a raft of offences. He spoke with ODT reporter Rob Kidd about life in the Paremoremo maximum security prison.
And it's been an amazing sort of... Was it the first time that you met recently?
Just 2 days
like
ago.
face to face?
Yes, 2 days
So you
ago.
obviously spoke about...
We met
at
first at the Auckland High Court. Yes,
No.
on the steps of the Auckland High Court.
steps of the Auckland High Court.
Yeah.
What an auspicious place to meet.
Yes.
How
yes.
nice.
Yes.
I was just telling them that, I was due to go straight to the 2 days.
Yes, exactly.
The Attorney General. And among the witnesses I was going to get the opportunity to grill under oath was the Deputy Chief Executive of the Department of Corrections, Mr. Vince Arbuckle. And he wasn't looking forward to it, I believe. No. He's had the pleasure of being cross-examined by me previously, and he was not happy. You probably understand I took a very important case to be able to be interviewed by the media and television, and and that was a very, very important protector of all Kiwis, freedom of expression.
And that's what they've settled.
And you read that judgment, and there's not only a freedom of expression, there's all sorts of other constitutional administrative law principles that the Court of Appeal laid down, for how all government departments and bureaucracies that treat the citizenry. Yeah. So I consider that very important. My work assists all Kiwis. Yeah. It's a way of me giving back to the community what I've cost them over the years in a lot of ways.
And I suppose it's, for some people it might be hard to reconcile your past with your present, but I suppose you're sort of embodiment.
Well, they're welcome to contact me, I'm a pretty public sort of guy. I'm not hiding away like in the underworld. And that's why, another important thing, I think there's a barrier being built up between, people that break the law, prisoners and that, and basically the citizenry. A lot of the ordinary members of the public have been terrified. They've been terrified by some of these horrible crimes these people have been committing, and they don't understand that there's only 1 out of 999 prisoners that have done that sort of stuff, and the whole lot end up paying the price. There used to be an enormous reservoir of community goodwill to prisoners getting out of prison, and that's because of the sensible sentencing trust and very well publicised horrific crimes. A lot of that's disappeared. The public doesn't seem to understand about the distinction.
But there'll be some colourful characters in
We've had some colourful characters, we have, They don't like going to the North Island, your boys. They seem to think we've got a very high gang population up there, and they don't feel quite safe. Well, we've had some of them seriously assaulted, unfortunately.
Well, obviously there is that element in Parry especially.
Yeah.
How have you I guess not necessarily survived, but kind of...
Well, the prisoners basically, that's what I mean about it, they basically respect me, because here they are 1 minute being told that they're virtually something on the bottom of someone's shoe, and then I win cases like the strip search case recently that involved 209 prisoners in Paremero being mass strip searched.
And it reminds them, see, I've got a fundamental belief that if you show respect to somebody else's rights, they will learn respect for other people's rights. Because some of these people in prison, they've never had anybody ever give a damn about them. Yeah, they've got no empathy for people, see, and they can learn it. Yeah.
After the break on the South Today, veteran sharers demonstrate what's on offer at this weekend's Share for Life fundraiser in Hinds, and we check out tomorrow's weather.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Most of us have spots on our skin. That's quite normal. Finding skin cancer as early as possible is key to successful treatment. Book in for a free check of 1 to 2 moles or a comprehensive full body check with the Mole Doctor in Waverley.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren, his Garador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
It's always really satisfying when a customer comes back after doing a purchase of outdoor furniture and knowing that we've got it done right.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Need to rent an EFTPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event, Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Welcome back. Dunedin detectives are investigating after a man suffered numerous injuries in a serious assault in South Dunedin. Information about the assault is limited, but police say it was reported on Friday night and the Criminal Investigation Branch is making inquiries. The victim was taken to hospital in a serious condition with numerous injuries. Police understand the assault stemmed from a dispute between two parties and didn't appear to be gang-related. Anyone with information is asked to contact Dunedin Police or Crime Stoppers. Two veteran shearers have demonstrated various techniques to pupils at Tynwald School today. Sharing one sheep each, the two men provided a sample of what's on offer at this weekend's Share for Life fundraiser in Hinds.
Tynwald school pupils getting a close-up look at sheep being shorn. Veteran shearers Sean Burgess and Brian Baldy Graham giving a sneak peek at what next Saturday's Share for Life fundraiser will be like. Demonstrating both blade and machine shearing styles, Peter Livingston says it's a chance for the children to learn something new.
As a school, it was a great opportunity for our children to learn, maybe ask some questions, see what it is actually like for a sheep to get a haircut, because a lot of them say that they've seen it, but I think the reality is that they haven't been inside a shearing shed or been around the animals that much.
If they feel that they're under control, then they're quite happy to sit still for you, but if they feel they can get up, they'll try to get up and run away.
Saturday's fundraiser has come out of a desire to help various cancer charities.
Share for Life is a campaign to raise money for breast cancer, prostate cancer and the local Cancer Society support group. It's put together by a group of shearers who wanted to have a weekend where they would all come together as mates, share some sheep and then donate any money that they made from it to these cancer societies.
He says the community has been instrumental in helping the event grow to where it is now.
So many local companies, like our trucking companies, our livestock companies, our rural companies, businesses in town, all willing to support a fundraising event of this magnitude. Probably because we're going to have some huge names in shearing in the shearing world come to this event and share.
Okay, so who's ever been to the barbers? Like, who's been actually had like the cut like that?
Saturday's Share for Life at Hinds will feature 70 current and former world shearing champions, plus stars from the She Shears movie and several former All Black greats. In Tynwald for the South Today.
And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Hayden.
Hello, Sophie. How are you this evening?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Good mix of stories tomorrow. A couple of difficult reads, I would say, to lead off with. The first is a really awful story about some the abuse of a miniature horse, basically. A lovely little horse. A woman thought it had been attacked by a dog. Some serious injuries occurred. Turns out to have been inflicted by humans. So a really serious, really concerning story, obviously that. So we'll find out more about that in tomorrow's paper. Another significant story and a potentially difficult read is a new study from the University of Otago, which has linked obesity and pregnancy to autism. So I think there's going to be a huge amount of interest in that story. The obesity epidemic has been well documented. Anything relating to babies obviously is really, really interesting. So another serious story. On a much lighter note, the Black Caps are here in Dunedin. So cricket fans will be pretty excited about the next couple of days. Wednesday's ODI against Bangladesh. So we've got the latest out of the Black Caps camp as they prepare for that game at the University Oval. And a really good story, a great story. A young fellow out of King's High School whose scholarship exam results were among the top 10 in New Zealand. And for a kid from Dunedin, boy or girl from any school really, to be in the top 10 in the entire country academically is something to really shout from the rooftops. So great yarn in tomorrow's ODT.
All right, well thank you, Hayden. All of that and more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, a warm week ahead with a northwesterly airflow until the end of the week, when we'll see much colder air arriving from the south. Looking at the southern towns, Balclutha, Catlins, Gore and Lumsden can all expect decreasing northwesterlies, some rain. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes, Alexandra is in for moderate winds with high cloud and a high of 26 degrees. Queenstown and Wanaka can expect moderate winds with a few showers and a high of 23 degrees. Rain and fresh winds in Te Anau with a high of 18 degrees. To the northern towns, along the coast, Oamaru and Timaru can expect moderate winds with high cloud and highs between 26 and 28 degrees. Similar conditions inland for Omarama and Twizel with highs of 25 degrees. In Dunedin, it will be cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 15. Tomorrow sees showers at first, skies clearing mid-morning, but thick high cloud remaining throughout the day. Moderate winds and rather warm temperatures with a high of 24 and a low of 14 degrees. Southwesterlies at first on Wednesday may bring a few showers, but mostly fine and sunny conditions during the day, with northeasterly winds developing. A high of 19 and a low of 11. Invercargill can expect rain with an overnight low of 14 degrees. Tomorrow it will be cloudy with outbreaks of rain at times and fresh gusty northwesterlies decreasing. Cooler southwesterlies developing during the evening with rain easing to showers, a high of 19 and a low of 11. Showers clearing and sunny periods increasing during the morning on Wednesday with moderate westerly winds, a high of 17 and a low of 11. That's all for our news this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.